Graham model is applicable only in the case of electrode-electrolyte interface with multiple layers. Um, Even though Stern have proposed the multiple layers like double layers with a concept of developing double layer by the ions which is absorbed on the surface of electrode and the ions in the diffused layer. It was Graham who gave a proper model that is constituted by three regions. The basic difference between the Stern model and Graham model is that in the Graham model, he brought one more region where the adsorption of ions takes place. Because Graham modified the Stern model after carrying out a number of precise differential capacity measurements using AC bridge. He distinguished the two different planes, one for specifically adsorbed desolvated ions and the other for solvated ions which are not specifically adsorbed. So you will get totally three regions where first one is with strongly adsorbed ions. That means they will make a strong bonding with the surface of the electrode, and you will get the inner Helmholtz plane through the center of such adsorbed ions. And the outer Helmholtz plane will be passing through the solvated but non-specifically adsorbed ions, and the diffused region will be outside that plane, that is OHP. So totally there will be three regions. The first region will be the surface adsorbed ions which will be desolvated, and the inner Helmholtz plane will be passing through that ions, and the second one is outer Helmholtz plane, and the third one is considering the diffusion of ions in the solution which will be outside of the outer Helmholtz plane. So in this model, like Stern and Graham's model, both potential varies linearly with the distance up to outer Helmholtz plane and then exponentially in the diffused region. The interfacial surface tension at a metal electrolyte phase boundary can be related to two factors, but two quantities like a surface excess and a potential difference. So this phenomenon was first studied by a scientist whose name is Lippmann, and it is known as electrocapillary. That is, electrocapillary is the phenomenon which connects both surface excess and a potential difference. So what will be the surface excess? We already have seen the surface excess originated at the surface electrode-electrolyte interface. So surface excess is the excess of that species present in the surface if there is no electrical double layer. So the surface excess can be either positive or negative quantity, and any surface tension arises from the anisotropic forces at the interface, and these forces are affected by the particles in the interface. So we can directly or indirectly say that the interfacial tension will depend upon the forces arising from the particles at the interface. So if you make any change in this potential difference, it will change the composition of the interfacial species, and which in turn changes the forces at the interface. So this can be reflected in the change of interfacial surface tension across the interface also. So this effect was first studied by the Lippmann, and the concept or the term is known as electrocapillary. So interfacial surface tension gamma of a mercury solution can be obtained with a Lippmann electrocapillary meter. So there's a special setup which consists of different parts. The first one is mercury solution polarizable interface. Second one is a non-polarizable interface, and an external source of variable potential difference, and arrangement to measure the surface tension gamma of mercury in conductivity to the solution. So you will see this is just the schematic representation of that capillary meter. Um, and the surface tension gamma calculated from the experiment is like H rho gr, and these are all the explanations of each term. Rho will be the density of mercury, and H will be the height of the mercury column. Gamma, the radius of the capillary, sorry, R is the radius of the capillary, and G will be the gravitational constant. So in this experiment, a tube narrowing to a capillary at its end is immersed in an electrolyte. And the lower meniscus of the capillary is shifted by raising or lowering the mercury bulb, which can be observed by means of a microscope. And the height of this mercury column will be proportional to the surface tension. When a potential is applied, the position of the meniscus is seen to change, but may be restored to the original position by changing the mercury reservoir. If you change, if you make any change in this mercury reservoir here, you will see a change in this mercury meniscus in this tube. Since the surface tension system consists of a polarizable interface, that is the mercury solution interface, which coupled to a non-polarizable interface, a change in the potential of external source are almost equal to the change in the potential across the mercury solution interface. So that's what I mentioned earlier. If you make any change in potential, that will automatically make the composition of the ions in the interface region, and which in turn make the change in the surface tension as well. From the electrocapillary measurements, you will get the interfacial surface tension and thereby surface excess charge by plotting a graph using the surface tension versus change in potential difference. And these curves are known as electrocapillary curves. A typical gamma versus potential electrocapillary curve is almost like a parabola, you can see here. On changing the potential difference PD, the surface tension passes through a maximum. So from this point, you are changing the potential difference PD, so that the surface tension is also changing and increasing, and after it reaches to a maximum, that is electrocapillary maximum ECM, and then it will be decreasing. So, and the surface tension corresponding to that ECM is known as gamma max. From this graph, you can see that the surface tension gamma will be changing with the concentration change. That is, you can measure the gamma max for a series of solutions with different concentrations. So as the solution is diluted, the maximum of surface tension rises. The theory of electrocapillary curves has been developed by Lippmann, and he used some thermodynamic concepts to develop this equation and corresponding measurements. The equation which describes the shape of electrocapillary curves and established a relation between the interfacial tension and potential difference and charge at the mercury solution interface. And this equation is called Lippmann equation of electrocapillary. That is, you can see that d gamma versus dV, that is the change in potential at a constant composition, is equal to minus Qm, where Qm is the charge density on the electrode and dV is the change in potential. So this is known as Lippmann's equation of electrocapillary. So it is clear that the slope of the electrocapillary curves at any cell potential will be equal to the charge density on the electrode. So what we are getting is once you have the surface tension from the electrocapillary measurements, indirectly you will get the excess charge density. For example, Consider this simple ideal parabolic gamma versus potential curve. The slope at various values of cell potential will give you a value of QM. That is the values of QM at various potential will be then plot like a graph like this. And this gives a plot of electrode charges as a function of cell potential. It can be seen from the QM versus potential curves that the charge on the electrode starts on with one sign and then it changes its sign after passing through a value like 0. So the potential difference across the system at which the charge on the electrode is 0 is known as potential of zero charge or PZC, and is given by the symbol QM is equal to 0. So hence we can say PZC is equal to QM is equal to minus d gamma by dV at constant composition is equal to 0. On the other hand, PZC or potential at zero charge is the potential at which ECM occurs. So this excess charge density or ECM value at the maximum will give you a QM value of 0. So that is the PZC potential at a zero charge. So for liquids, most convenient method to determine the PZC is making a capillary measurements. And you can use these electrocapillary measurements to obtain the excess charge density for various electrolytes. That means electrolytes are having different concentrations, and you can plot a graph of concentration against their potential or surface tension that you have calculated. Next is, let us see how to calculate the surface excess of a series of electrolyte with different concentrations. So here, this graph is just the representation of surface tension gamma versus potential. Here you are taking the gamma curve of a series of different electrolyte with a different concentration, 1 normal, 0.1 normal, 0.03 normal, and so on. And you are drawing a perpendicular through the center or almost the center of all these parabola. The equation connecting the surface excess and chemical potential is given by Gibbs absorption equation. D gamma divided by d mu at constant potential V is equal to tau. Tau means the surface excess. So this is a basic thermodynamic equation that we use to calculate the surface excess of electrode-electrolyte interface. We know that the chemical potential mu is equal to mu plus mu minus, that the chemical potential of both cations and anions, and mu plus is equal to mu 0 plus RTLN A plus, where A plus is the activity of the corresponding ion, and mu minus ion, and we may take the total chemical potential mu will be the sum of mu plus and mu minus, and after solving this equation and rearranging, finally you will get d mu, and you take the differential of this chemical potential as well, and d mu is equal to 2RT DLN activity of plus and minus, DLNA plus or minus. And in the back previous slide, you have seen d mu. This is the value we get. D mu is equal to 2RT DLNA plus or minus. And you will substitute the value of this d mu in this equation, the first Gibbs absorption equation. And you will get, substitute the value of d mu, you will get d gamma divided by 2RT DLN A plus or minus is equal to tau, and that is the surface excess. And you may think, how do we get this activity A plus and minus? So from the slope of the curve of surface tension and log A plus or minus, you will get a surface excess. Activity A plus and minus can be calculated by taking the bulk concentration and which is multiplied with the mean ionic activity coefficient in that particular concentration. So this is how we are calculating the surface excess by performing a electrocapillary measurement. And in general, once you get the surface tension, interfacial surface tension in an electrode electrolyte interface, you can get the idea of the surface excess and the potential corresponding to that double layer or triple layer, whatever it is.